As Shell embarks on renewed oil and gas exploration in the Beaufort and Chukchi Seas, we want to better understand what's happening in the Arctic today, better measure historical trends, and ensure oil and gas activity continues to coexist with subsistence cultures and the North Slope community.
One aspect of our program is looking very intensively in areas that we're likely to operate in, but we are also doing equally similar or equally intense looks more dispersed across the entire area so that we can look and make sure that what we're seeing locally stands for the whole.
We're at 71 degrees 7 minutes north and 163 degrees 25 minutes west. We're way north.
For the last 4 years, Shell scientists, working with a wide array of independent scientists, industry partners, and regulatory agencies, have taken to the ocean and studied what lies beneath, literally, from the seafloor to the surface.
Is the fact that we're dealing with an integrated, multi-task research program, including everything over the years from geology and sediment sampling and in-fauna studies, benthic faunas, water column studies. We're not doing any hands-on work with top trophic level consumers like bears and walruses and seals, but we are looking at the systems, the food web systems that support them.
Looking for marine mammals in the Arctic takes many forms. Shell is experimenting with unmanned aircraft to locate seals, walrus, polar bears, and the one mammal that serves as the centerpiece of the traditional Inupiat subsistence lifestyle, the bowhead whale.
If you look at the people of northern Alaska, they're utilizing a lot of different natural resources, caribou, walrus, beluga whales, etc. But the bowhead whale holds special significance in that environment, in that community. So the access to bowhead whales and the ability to hunt them has incredible cultural importance as well as nutritional importance to the people in these communities. And so being able to kind of continually monitor what's going on with the bowhead whale, with the population, with their productivity, with their movement patterns and feeding patterns, et cetera, is all a critical aspect of understanding our place here in the Arctic.
Observing the bowhead yields valuable data, but sometimes it's what you can't see that gives Shell's scientists the most information. For several years, scientists have deployed hydrophones and acoustic arrays along the Beaufort and Chukchi coasts. These listening devices are deployed for months at a time, allowing our scientists to track the movements and area use patterns of bowheads, walruses, and other marine mammals. That's extremely valuable information as scientists attempt to further understand not only the patterns of the whale's behavior, but how they react to Shell's activities as we search for valuable oil and gas resources to supply the nation's energy needs, including sound that comes from seismic work.
Understanding how marine mammals in general, but also specifically bowhead whales, react again to a changing environment as well as to any kind of environmental perturbation that we generate is an important piece of understanding how we will interact with the environment and being able to mitigate for our effects.
Of course, science is not about one marine mammal or one sensitive coastline. It's also the big picture that matters in the Arctic, from inland rivers and lakes to the very tundra that, despite some of the harshest conditions on Earth, is teeming with life.
We're here to study the rivers, the streams, the lakes, and the coastal processes in this area that we might better understand the intricacies of exactly what's going on so that we can combine that data with the more regional data that we have across the slope, and in order to develop designs that will be friendly to the environment as well as suitable for our needs.
For centuries, the Arctic has served the needs of many. With the ocean as their garden, Alaska natives have history all along the Beaufort and Chukchi coasts. History Shell is now trying to document so it can be preserved.
We care about those resources because they can inform us about the past. This was actually laying in what I think is the floor of a house from 300 or 400 or 500 years ago.
Since the early 1970s, thousands of independent scientific studies have been completed in the Arctic, and with continued interest from companies like Shell, that number will continue to grow. So too will the scientific story that makes the Arctic one of the most unique regions on Earth.
Being able to look at all of those intensively, look at the acoustics at the same time that we're looking at things like the benthic environment and the plankton, the food bases, etc., gives us really a unique understanding of this ecosystem. And it's very rare to have this intensive look at an area of the ocean.